Greetings, everyone. Welcome to week 4. Like the other weeks, you have quite some interesting work to continue. You're continuing working on the short assignment, which at this point should be the course annotated bibliography. Now, I have posted information about that assignment in the weeks preceding today. And today I'm just going to overview what you can expect for this week. Okay, so by the end of the day on Tuesday, nothing is due. I'm just strongly suggesting that you continue working on the short assignments using the models for project 1 as a way to get examples for what you're doing, and you need to write your draft this week. So this is a big week because it's the first peer review. We're going to have the same peer review process. So let's go ahead and get the kinks out this week. So you want to prepare for peer review, and you want to, make sure you are looking for and becoming familiar with all the ways you can get help. So today, nothing's due but learning. So review the peer review process and review the content from part 1, which we're from our textbook that we're using for project 1. And if you don't review anything else in the part 1, you want to review the assignment sheet, the models, the peer review sheet, and the rubric for this area. I'm going to click on that because I've made some changes. I've had people ask, well, I can't find things. So for project 1, we're using part 1 of the text. If you click on this first item, it'll still take you inside the folder and you will see all of the documents that are associated with this item. There are a few new ones because I went in and I just separated the assignment sheet and I made some changes. And so I also gave you direct access to them. So here are the models, the student examples, and the assignment sheet. This is the rubric. This will be useful if you want to know what I'll be evaluating in your final draft. So this is a Word version of the rubric. The rubric will look different when you submit it on Blackboard because I have to, reformat it. And then this is the specific peer review sheet for this assignment. Oh no, don't want that. Okay, so I'm back here in week 4. So that's the items you should be looking at this week. Definitely you want to spend time getting familiar with the peer review process. I'll have a separate video in that area for you to talk a little bit more about the peer review process, but this is the process we're using. And then for each actual writing project, you will have some additional things to look at when it comes time to giving and receiving peer review. The mini lessons, this is week 4, so you need to have completed them by the end of this week. I have not graded any of them because all of these are just suggested weeks that you should be completing them as they go along. And plus there were some issues with the links, and I believe I corrected them all. If not, you will let me know and I will correct them. So it's here just to remind you, you should continue working on it, but this is the last week that you can submit and complete these mini lessons. By Thursday, this is the most important thing. You have to submit a draft for your narrative paper that you're writing. Again, our draft review process is long and big and clunky, so we will work through that. And then by the end of the week, you should submit the course annotated bibliography. And again, you do not have to wait till Sunday to submit things. I just put the links at the end of the week because if I put them earlier, you'll just be freaked out. So I try to put things at the end of the week as often as I can. So between posting your draft on Thursday, so right after you post your draft Thursday, start it immediately on Friday morning, you can start the peer review process, and that's when you give each other feedback. And so the link here on Sunday, it takes you exactly to the same place but this is where you will go back to give the feedback. And again, like I said, there's a video in there that talks more specifically about what to do. And then you have the weekly reflective quiz and a look ahead to next week. You will always see short assignments. Some weeks you may not actually have them, but I usually always put them there just in case I do need, or it calls for assigning a short assignment. And then, so this gives you a snapshot at the next 2 weeks. So that is the overview for this week. And I do just want to pop over and just give an overview of the writing projects. Just an overview of what you should think about as we engage in them. So, snapshot of the writing projects. You will get an introduction to the project that could go anywhere from 1 day plus, but you just think about once that writing project is introduced, you should start asking questions about it all the way until you submit it. And even you may have follow-up questions after you receive the graded version of the final project back. And then we have time to review, discuss, ask questions about the project, roughly 3 to 5 days. Not all of the 3 major writing projects are designed to fit this timeline. This just gives you an idea. So between getting introduced to the writing project, you're reviewing it, discussing, asking questions. And then you're doing some sort of practice activity, still discussing, asking questions about it. So that gives us some additional days. Those practice questions and discussion comes in the form of the discussion board. When you are posting about the specific chapters from the textbook, when you're doing activities, or just when you are asking questions about it on in the virtual office. And then we have days in which you do peer review, because you've written something, you're revising, you're still discussing and asking questions. And then you are reflecting and you submit that final draft for grading. So this is pretty much just a generic idea of what that process looks like. And of course, the practices and the individual activities and discussions are going to be unique to each of the writing projects.